I'm Talia, the most well-known YouTuber in the entire world, which is great, but equally frustrating at times. Guys, I miss competitions. For a long while, I've remained undefeated. What? No one can compete with me. Anyway, I got up to get ready and stream. The topic of discussion is what we should do next time. Most comments want to see something insane. Attempt one of your crazy challenges like last time, one of the comments read. I said to the audience, sweethearts, you know that you can count on me when it comes to crazy stuff, but give me suggestions. They suggested that I go to the desert tomorrow night and spend the night there alone, streaming, and oh my god, everyone liked that idea. So I said, why wait tomorrow? Let's go now and we'll meet at 1 p.m. in the middle of the desert where I'll spend the night alone. Now, you can definitely see the secret behind my fame and why my fans love me. I got ready and my family was thrilled. My dad was confident that this live stream would break a record and mom chimed in. Absolutely. Remember how the 24-hour streaming in the ocean got so many views? Although everyone was thrilled about the potential views, no one seemed to actually care about my safety. However, I didn't dwell on it too much. Upon arriving at the desert, I ventured in, but not too far as I didn't want to lose signal. I turned off the car lights and began streaming. Guys, this place is terrifying. I'm genuinely scared. There might be wolves here or something. I continued streaming until 3 a.m. Guys, something strange is happening. I see a car approaching and entering the desert. Do you think it could be an illicit substance dealer or a Terminator? I'm terrified. My audience urged me to follow the car and show them what the occupants were up to. No way. I might be crazy, but I'm not that crazy. What? Do you want more adventure? My followers had divided into two contrasting opinions. One side kept pushing me to go, saying, come on Talia, you got this, while the other advised me not to go as it might be dangerous. Eventually, I told them I'd do it if the livestream reached 2 million likes within 10 minutes. I thought there was no chance they'd accomplish that. But my fans were even crazier than me, and they did it! In no time, the streaming views and likes reached a number I'd never achieved in any other stream in my life. Overwhelmed with excitement, I exclaimed, guys, you're nuts! You've earned this adventure. Let's go! I drove the car slowly until I spotted them from a distance. I got out and took my phone with me as I ventured into the desert. Guys, I'm close to them and I'm terrified. Once I was near, I could see their faces illuminated by their car's light. I narrated what was happening to my fans during the stream. 3 men were standing, and one of them appeared worried and scared for his life. Clearly, they had a problem and they wanted to settle the score with him. God forbid! I was worried they might harm him. The discussion became increasingly heated, and they started yelling at the guy, but I couldn't make out what they were saying. I was terrified and seriously considering heading back. As I continued talking, I suddenly noticed that the stream had stopped due to a bad connection. Before I could head back to regain the signal on my phone, I saw the angry man pull out a gun and shoot the poor man. It all happened in an instant, and I found myself screaming. They saw me, but it was so dark they couldn't identify me. They quickly got in their car to come after me. Terrified, I ran and dropped my phone out of fear. I couldn't even go back to pick it up. All I wanted was to reach my car and drive away, but they were chasing me. We raced wildly on the road, and all that mattered to me at that point was to reach the highway where I could find people and shops. Eventually, I found a gas station and ran inside to seek refuge before they could catch me. They stopped their car nearby but didn't get out as they saw the police passing by. The moment I entered the station, I found a guy behind the counter and urgently told him to hide me because some people were chasing me. He told me to calm down, but when he saw my face, he asked, "Is that you?" Thinking he was one of my fans, I said, "Yeah, it's Talia. Please help me hide." He looked furious and angry for some reason.
Get out.
What?
Get out now.
Are you out of your mind? He grabbed my hand and dragged me toward the door. I tried to resist and said, "What are you doing? I'm telling you, there are people trying to hurt me."
People like you deserve that. I'm sure you offended them or wronged them the way you did with me.
What did I do to you?
Sure, you won't remember the Texas 93 gas station?
I started to connect the dots and remember that 1 month ago I'd gotten the same guy fired because he was rude to me.
So now you remember, right? You accused me of harassing you just because I didn't know who you were and treated you like everyone else. You're less than a peg. Now get out.
Just hold on, please. While talking to him, I saw the men getting out of their cars and heading toward us. I'll do whatever you want, even kiss your hand, but please help me hide.
Kiss.
What?
Kiss.
You're a pervert and rude.
Okay, then you have to kiss and apologize.
There was literally no time left, and this jerk was serious. Can you imagine, guys? I kissed his hand and said to this thing, "I'm sorry." Yuck! Then he let me out through the back door just as they were about to enter and told me,
"Get to your car and I'll stall them."
the plan worked, and I sped back home. I didn't know what happened to him, but I hoped they kidnapped or even ended him. My whole world was turned upside down. My fans were worried sick about me. I streamed to tell them I was fine, but the connection was bad. I said, "I'm sorry, I failed this challenge and couldn't carry on." I apologized to my lovely fans. I couldn't talk about what happened out of fear. I didn't know what to do. Should I report it to the police or what? I woke up to the sound of my angry parents saying, "What have you done?" What did I do? Look. See for yourself. They handed me the phone, and I found a video of myself kissing that jerk's hand. It was all over the internet, but the video was muted. No way! I'll not leave him alive! I put on my clothes and went to the station where he worked. I opened the door and walked in, ready to punch him in the face, but he caught my hand and looked me in the eyes. His gaze was intense. Sure, he was a jerk, but I had to admit, he was also really hot.
"Thought I got rid of you,"
he said.
"What brought you back here?"
"Are you for real? How dare you share that video?"
"What video?"
He watched the video, looking shocked.
"This is crazy. I didn't post that."
"Then who did?" Long story short, it turned out that his colleague at work had seen what happened on the security cameras and shared the video to go viral. I stormed out, but suddenly felt someone right behind me. Then he hid me with his body and whispered in my ear,
"Don't move. The people chasing you are in the station."
I looked over and saw the guy who had eliminated the boy the day before. I felt a shiver throughout my body, but his strong body made me feel somehow safe. Once I was sure they were gone, I slapped him on the face and said, "Thanks." Instead of getting angry, he smiled. I left him and ran to my car. On the way back, I got a text message from a hidden number. "If you say a word, it will be the last day of your life." I pulled over. My hand was shaking so much I couldn't drive. Now they knew who I was. I was in trouble. Oh no! I can't go back home because they can easily find my address. I couldn't think straight. My mom called, asking where I was since I caused a fuss on the internet. Everyone was attacking me because of the video. But that wasn't the issue. The issue was that they were weaving stories and lies about the guy from the station and me. They even accused him of being a psycho, forcing people to do weird things in exchange for their safety. At the same time, someone was honking at me. When I looked up, it was the guy from the gas station. He'd followed me on his motorbike. He ran toward me and jumped into the passenger seat next to me, yelling, "Hurry up, will ya?" What's going on?
There's no time to explain.
What about your motorbike? He didn't respond while he was looking back. As I turned the ignition, I saw the killer's car behind us. Fear paralyzed me.
"Damn it,"
he said in disappointment. And moments later, I found myself being held by his arms. He threw me into the back seat, jumped into the driver's seat, and sped off like crazy. We raced along the empty desert road. I asked, "Why did you come? What happened?" He didn't answer, focused on the high-speed chase. Suddenly, a car bumped into us. He sped up, but another car crashed into us, sending our car rolling into the desert. Everything went blank. I heard his voice.
"Are you okay, Talia?"
"Yeah, where am I?" I was lying on the ground, my crushed car nearby, which looked like a mashed potato. I cried. "No, not my car!"
"It's not the right time. Give me your hand, get out,"
he said as he pulled me out. He checked my body and head, making sure I was okay.
You're fine.
I touched my head and saw blood on my hand. I screamed, "Blood!"
Don't worry, it's just a scratch. We lost them, but we have to move.
Why is he confident? Is he a doctor or something? I asked, where would we go?
I have a safe place we can stay for a while until we figure things out.
He helped me stand up, but my legs hurt. I leaned on him as we walked, eventually leaving the desert and waiting for a car to pick us up. I asked his name, and he said it was John. On the way, he told me that they suspected that he had helped me escape because of that stupid viral video. So they started searching the station. He was shocked at how foolish I was when he saw my car still near the station.
What were you thinking, you idiot? And why are they following you in the first place?
I told him what had happened, and he was shocked.
Don't worry, you will be safe now.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure, troublemaker.
Why do you help me after I ruin your life?
I don't know. I just felt sorry for what I did to you yesterday, even knowing you deserve it.
I felt sorry at this moment for what I did for a guy like him.
Also, I never saw you vulnerable before. I thought you were just an evil independent witch seeking only fame.
I was annoyed by what he called me, but I honestly felt I deserved it. We arrived at a beautiful village. He held me as I couldn't stand on my leg anymore. I was embarrassed, but at the same time, I felt safe with him, even more than I felt with my own parents. We arrived at a humble house.
I know you might not like this place, Your Highness, but it's far from the troubles for now.
He introduced me to the woman living there, his mother. She was humble, friendly, and generous, making me feel at home. That night, I stepped outside for fresh air, which was a bit cold. I laughed, and he asked why. Because I'm not used to being spoiled and taken care of.
Your ladyship isn't used to being spoiled?
He teased. Don't judge a book by its cover, I replied. He smiled.
You're right, but you're famous and an only child. Your parents must spoil you.
I looked at him. How do you know I'm an only child? Are you following me? Are you one of my fans? He jokingly tapped me on the head.
You're not funny.
What about your job, by the way? I asked. He sighed.
I was fired.
Seriously?
Guess whose fault that is?
He said sarcastically. I didn't know whether to laugh or to feel sorry, but I retorted, it's your fault. You are the one who asked me to kiss your hand and do childish things. He scoffed.
Shallow, full of yourself, and you never admit your mistakes. What, are you competing for the title of the most arrogant influencer?
I got angry and told him to stop calling me shallow. We argued until his mom called us for dinner. I stayed with them for a whole month. It was the best month of my life. He and his family were so kind to me. To be honest, I fell in love with him, and he fell for me too. My family wasn't happy about my disappearance from social media. During that month, I felt I didn't owe them or my audience any explanation. I just didn't seem to care. I made them believe I was just on holiday and have gone out of town to take a break. One day, Mom called and said something terrible had happened and I needed to come home quickly because Dad was in danger. She didn't mention what it was and hung up, so he agreed to accompany me. He drove me home and left. I entered my house, praying my dad was okay. I found my mom crying and my dad lying on the floor, and my heart nearly shattered. I asked in fear, Dad, what happened? Suddenly, they both burst out laughing. What's this? I said, relieved and angry.
Talia, what choice do we have? You refused to come back.
We figured this was the only way to get you home. Are you serious, Mom? You almost gave me a heart attack. They hugged me to make it up for me.
Get ready, we have important guests coming over.
They exchanged knowing glances and chuckled. Is this another prank?
No, sweetheart. This time it's a real surprise.
I left them and went to get ready. Meanwhile, Mom called me to hurry because the guests had arrived. When I got there, I saw a man sitting in an armchair with his back to me. He wore a suit and held a bouquet of roses. Puzzled, I asked, "Who's this?" Mom replied, "Surprise." As she said so, the man turned around and glared at me. I was shocked. It was the murderer.